Imagine you're in a sea of people. Everyone is a stranger, none have met before, and your only objective is to make a friend. The first thing you look for is commonality. Someone that you might relate to. Someone who may share your interests and hobbies. It's easier to talk to someone if you have something in common. However, hobbies communicate far more than you would think. Take, for example, archery. A long-standing pastime that requires patience, focus, strength, but most of all, capital. Not only do you need the time and energy to engage in this sport, but you need to purchase a bow and arrows, safety gear, a target, and a safe place to practice it in. On average, it can cost you thousands. Because of this, archery is considered an elitist sport. Now, maybe you don't consciously think about this when making new friends, but it's nonetheless true, and unfortunately, it's mirrored in occupational hiring. In this video essay, we will explore topics that address this phenomenon and the various aspects involved. This is cultural matching.
What is cultural matching? Cultural matching is the process whereby employers seek potential employees based off of not only their skills and abilities, but also by their cultural similarities. This can include formal institutions such as law firms or informal institutions such as tech firms. While employers are looking for the people that are the most skilled and effective in doing the job, they are also taking into major consideration the people who are the most similar to them. People who they can easily bond with, people who they share experiences with, in short, someone who they can potentially be friends with. Within cultural matching, there are specific cultural similarities that play an important role in determining whether or not the candidate is from the same social world. These can be things such as sports, hometowns, college institutions, hobbies, or even clothing such as wearing a blazer instead of a sweatshirt or vice versa. American sociologist Lauren Rivera conducted an experiment under the name of Hiring as Cultural Matching. In this experiment, the focus was the hiring processes of potential candidates applying for elite professional service firms. The resumes of the potential candidates were all similar in relation to the universities they each attended, with the difference of sex, ethnicity, GPA, and extracurricular activities. Throughout the experiment, it became evident that there was a trend of employers using similarities between themselves and the candidates as a basis to evaluate them. These similarities then affected their overall evaluation in three different ways: organizational processes, cognitive processes, and affective processes. Ultimately, employers' hiring decisions are portrayed as deriving from assumptions of a candidate's human capital, social capital, and demographic characteristics. All other variation is attributed to both discrimination and error. This phenomenon is referred to by Rivera as the gap.
The most noticeable processes are organizational processes, which consist in the conscious search for cultural compatibility or cultural fit in a candidate. Cultural fit can be defined as the perceived similarity to a firm's existing employee base in leisure pursuits, background, and self-presentation. This is often desired by firms as they mistake proper work styles for play styles. It may even make them prefer a candidate that shares their hobbies, upbringing, or academic backgrounds, which includes things such as their alma mater and college pastimes. This consequently makes them ignore a candidate's technical qualifications. This is very desired because it improves retention and makes the employee's work experience more pleasant. However, the pursuit of cultural fit is justified by a misreading of known research on organizational fit, which is about a match in work styles rather than a focus on play styles, the latter being what employees actually seek. The organizational fit of a candidate refers to the shared values that delineate appropriate work style behavior. For example, being good at following instructions gives you a better chance to go into a practical and technical firm in which employees are expected to abide to specific instructions. On the other hand, being a creative and proactive person increases your chances for being hired by a firm like Google that really focuses on building an atmosphere that incites creativity within each employee. These are confused for cultural attributes since they are understood as natural, unlike teachable attributes.
Within cultural matching, there is something known as fit evaluation. Fit evaluation usually revolves around a person's similarity to a firm and the firm's culture. An example of firm culture can be a sporty frat-like firm versus an egghead intellectual firm, or similarly a country club elite firm versus a casual, almost scrappy firm. These firm cultures and the person's cultural fit are often determined through leisure pursuits such as rock climbing, squash, scuba diving, hiking, golf, and archery. It is also not uncommon for these leisure activities to require some sort of cultural capital and money, since many activities require equipment or membership fees. Within the interview process, there are two ways or processes through which firms determine an applicant's fit. First is through cognitive processes, meaning the comprehension and evaluation of a candidate's qualifications. Through cognitive processes, interviewers use their personal experience as interpretive frames to make sense of others' experiences, as this process is more rooted in understanding and logic. In turn, interviewers may rate experiences similar to theirs higher. Affective processes are the other way in which fit is evaluated and can be translated into a sense of spark or excitement that the evaluator feels. This in turn can inspire advocacy because of emotional ties and can sometimes waive technical requirements because of perceived familiarity.